Fortnite is terrified of Apex Legends, Anthem's breaking consoles, and the Division 2 comes soon. My name is Force, welcome back to the Force Feed, the internet's #2 gaming news show. I know, it's sad, poor went out for me. We lost a spot, unfortunately. Listen, this is what happens when you only upload a video once every 2 weeks. I don't know what I expected. Everyone else is putting out news videos every single day. It takes me 2 weeks to come out with one of them, but hey, at least I don't get angry every time a publisher breathes. Hey, I'm not here to judge. People make videos about whatever the hell they want. Let's get into the news. So first up today, I want to talk a bit about Fortnite's response to Apex Legends. It's been hilarious. So if you didn't catch it earlier this week, it was revealed that Apex Legends had reached 50 million players since launch. You know, sometimes we talk about player-based numbers, but I just want to put this into perspective to you. Apex Legends in 3 days reached 10 million players. It took Fortnite 2 weeks to reach 10 million players. In 1 week, Apex hit 25 million. It took 6 weeks for Fortnite to get 20 million. As I just said, Apex is now 4 weeks in at 50 million players. It wasn't until over 16 weeks that Fortnite hit 45 million. It is absolutely absurd growth what we're seeing with Apex Legends. I mean, they have just, everyone's obsessed with it. Part of the reason I haven't uploaded a video in a long ass time is because I am obsessed with Apex Legends. I can't stop playing the game. I just can't. And Fortnite has caught on to that, and they're doing some countermeasures in response to Apex Legends popularity. I just want to run down some of the things that we've seen come to Fortnite since Apex's major explosion. So in a recent update, they added a ping system to Fortnite. Now, it isn't quite as robust or in-depth as what Apex Legends has, but nevertheless, it is clearly a response to the Apex system. There's also rumors of a respawn van coming to Fortnite very soon. This is another one of the systems in Apex Legends that people tout as just being a real positive change for Battle Royale games. They quadrupled their support a creator program, essentially giving creators 4 times as much money to just make Fortnite content instead of talking about Apex Legends. For the first time ever, they gave players a chance to earn the Battle Pass for free for the brand new Season 8, and they've also been running Fortnite ads on Apex Legends Google searches. You know, some of that, again, not all that surprising, running ads on competition, stuff like that. Just the timing of it. They have literally straight ripped some of the best features of Apex Legends and put them into Fortnite. Now, when we look at something like this, the immediate thing you should say is competition is clearly good. Apex comes out, they do some really amazing, innovative things that people fall in love with, and then another game incorporates those into their game. So as the players of games, this competition is good because the games get better off of each other. That's fantastic. There's no questioning that. But it doesn't make it any less funny to watch Fortnite basically sitting here, sweaty as hell, panicking over the growth of Apex. Again, look at the chart. It is nutty. The growth rate and the speed that we're seeing Apex explode far surpasses anything that Fortnite was doing. Now, Fortnite is much bigger. Its player base is many times bigger than Apex right now, but Apex could get to that point. Now, if you're gonna ask me the question of should Fortnite be in panic mode, I'm gonna say no. And I haven't touched Fortnite in a long time. I got incredibly bored with it, but I love Apex Legends. I just don't think that Apex Legends is really gonna likely surpass Fortnite because Fortnite has that super young demographic. I mean, they have saturated young gamer player base. It's to the levels of what you saw with Minecraft. Fortnite is also available on mobile devices, and unless Apex also comes to mobile, it again is unlikely to reach that huge player base number because there's a ton of people around the world who only exclusively play games on their phones, and that is part of the reason why Fortnite is so big. Yeah, Fortnite is clearly scrambling in response to the big success that Apex has had so far, but I don't think they're going to get surpassed unless Apex comes on phones. But even then, I don't think Apex is just likely to grab that market. Now, I'm not saying Apex isn't going to have any young players. They certainly do. If you've played with random squads, you know there's a bunch of kids playing in this game.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Bro, stop wasting your ammo.
Yeah, fucking chill!
Dead life. Oh my god, bro.
I don't think it's going to hit that saturation that Fortnite has, but I think Apex is certainly going to continue to grow. They've had amazing success so far. I just thought it was kind of funny, all the scrambling that we've been seeing Fortnite do, implementing these systems. It's just funny. That's basically it. Something else that's kind of funny is Anthem, once again in the news for not so good things. Anthem came out, launch reviews were pretty terrible. It's still got a fan base, there's no question about that, but the general conversation around Anthem is it feels like make a game that's rather unfinished. Well, things are going from bad to worse, as now it's a game that is crashing consoles. Since a recent patch for the game, PS4 users have been experiencing console crashes. We're not talking about just crashes of the game, but the console straight shutting off.
Game hard crashes to the system interface. PS4 immediately powers off.
Oh, wow.
I looked on Reddit, like apparently it's a pretty common problem on PS4.
Weird.
The game crashes and then shuts your PS4 down.
This has apparently seen a big boost recently, with a ton of users reporting this problem, which has led to people requesting refunds. Now, Sony does have this one-time refund policy for any purchases through the PS Store, so if you've already used it, you're not likely to get Anthem refunded, but if you haven't, it's just something to consider. And apparently EA isn't quite sure at the moment what has been causing this issue, as they are looking for help in diagnosing the problem. Things just aren't looking too great for Anthem, and I feel bad because this was a game I was so excited for, I was rooting for, I wanted it to be this next loot game that I became obsessed with. Just issue after issue, and overall, it's just not feeling like a fully fleshed out, complete product. Put the brakes on it. I stopped playing the game, and now with this deuce coming up, it's a rough time. Besides all of their content issues, they're literally now having problems with people being unable to play the game because it's crashing the console. So it's a pretty rough situation. Hopefully they get this sorted. You know, I am fully confident that they're likely to turn this game around as time goes on. Patches fix these issues. They add more content. They flesh it out. But, you know, it is disappointing to have one of these games that, again, comes out and we're saying, maybe check it out in a year from now once a bunch of content is finally in the game. But I digress. I had a decent time with the game for the 15 or so hours that I played. I'm just not interested in Anthem anymore. And this recent news isn't helping their cause either. There's a game coming out that I am still pretty looking forward to, though, and we're going to be talking about The Division 2. They're seeing their launch in a little over a week from now, and they just actually put out their official launch trailer. They've got the dungeons, they've got the raid equivalent content, they've got all the different PvP and the dark zones. Like, there's a lot of varied things to do in this game. If you compare it directly to Anthem, a loot shooter that just came out, Division 2 is a much more fleshed out experience, but I'm not quite as excited for this as I was for the first Division. I think a part of it is honestly the setting. Like, I loved this post-apocalyptic, middle of winter, snowy New York setting. The Washington, D.C. in the dead of summer setting, it just really isn't doing it for me. I don't think that's it, though. Like, whatever, snow, no snow, who cares? Playing The Division 2 for the time that I have spent so far with the betas, it does feel a lot like the first Division, which isn't necessarily surprising, but I think because I played so much of the first game, this one feeling so similar in a lot of ways, I'm not getting pulled in quite as much. I'm still gonna give it a chance. Like, as I've said a million times on this channel, I love loot shooters, I love MMOs, I also love these MMO-like games, or at least want to give them a shot. So that pretty much does it for today's episode of the feed. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the show. I know I haven't been putting out a lot of videos. I promise I'm gonna do more. We're gonna reclaim our spot as the #1 gaming news show on the internet. I just have to stop playing Apex Legends, which seems to be a problem, but I do stream. You can check it out, link in the description below. Please watch me. Bye-bye.